All right, good afternoon. I'm here on the beach of, I think, Bang San, I believe. I'll put it in the down below. But Rayong Beach is where I'm at. I live here in Rayong. It's not Rayong, but Rayong, Thailand, Rayong. So this is where I'm doing video from. I'm trying a new system. I'm using the camera I have, the video I have, and I'm using the audio. I have an audio device, and I've connected it to my phone. So I'm going to record audio on the phone because it's better audio, and record video on my camera and link them together. Basically, today, I want to talk about health. That's it's a big item for me. It's something I focus on daily. So we all have, a lot of people, most people have an addiction to different things, whether it's an addiction to brushing their teeth 5-6 times a day, or it's the more common addictions of the worst. We'll talk about bad drugs, alcohol, smoking, drinking too much soda, eating too many sweets, eating too many of everything, of anything, carbs. We'll break it down into the smallest of addictions, right? All of these things affect our life, right? So let's go down to I haven't always had good eating habits or drinking habits or even smoking. So after I quit those drinking and smoking, my body repaired rather quickly. So that's what I want to say. So your body is trying to repair at all times. It's trying to repair all the time. No matter what you throw at it, your body is designed to repair itself and live a long time. But sometimes we break it down faster than it can be repaired. So that's whenever you deteriorate. And also age doesn't help either. So from there, I'll say the next thing you can do is try to get in tune. Now I've chosen, for lack of a better, so that people understand what I'm talking about, is I've chosen to eat keto, which is basically not eating carbohydrates. So anything with carbohydrates, bread, rice, sugars, natural sugars, and fruits are no-goes, or non-eating items. Water and coffee and tea, basically all you drink, which is simple. So why? Why did I choose that? Well, I did some studying. I'm a YouTube studier, and the results were that carbohydrates are bad, fats are good. So in basic breakdown terms, what I want to do is do it in basic terms so that the simplest person can understand. Carbohydrates enter the body. Our body turns it into insulin. Everybody knows what insulin is, or has heard of insulin anyway. And the insulin is energy. The insulin is used as energy. Then when we use all the insulin, our stomach, body sends a message to the brain and says, hey, I'm out of energy. I need something to eat. I'm hungry. And then your brain says, hey, buddy, you're hungry. Get some more carbs in here. And so you crave carbs. So by eating carbs, you crave more carbs, which creates more energy. Now, what happens is we eat the wrong kind of carbs. We end up with sweets and sugars, and non-natural sugars can't be processed properly into insulin. So they're stored as fat. Now, when do you use fat? You only use fat after you use your carbs. And you don't even use them. You don't even use it after you use your carbs. Your body sits around and waits for more carbs, right? So while your body's waiting for more carbs, you're like, hey, I need some more carbs. I'm hungry. Why haven't you fed me yet? Now you get really deep hunger, and you end up giving in, and you go buy some peanuts or something. You buy something to curb your craving and to feed your carb addiction. Because that's what it is, carb addiction. Now, you don't use your fat. You use more carbs, more insulin. Now, whenever you want to get out of that cycle, whenever you want to give up your carbs, it's not easy because you have to make yourself get rid of it. So once you get rid of those carbs, or once you stop eating carbs and you just eat protein and fat, basically, then your body says, okay, you've stopped giving me carbs, but I still have to have some type of energy source. So I'm going to start making ketones out of this fat that you're putting into me. So now that's where the word keto, the keto diet, comes from. So your body enters into ketosis instead of being insulin. Instead of relying on insulin, your body relies on ketones for energy. So now you're using the fat that you've got into your system. Now, when you run out of the fat that you just ate, the protein that you just ate, your body can easily say, oh, I have some fat over here that's stored on my body. I'm going to use that since you haven't eaten any more fat. So you're less hungry. You still get hungry. You still get an empty stomach. You still get that message. But you're less hungry. You're less craving. So it gives you can go longer without eating. That's where intermittent fasting comes in. So when you eat protein and fats, your body uses that. And then if you intermittently fast 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours of not eating or intaking any type of anything other than coffee, water, or tea. I know it sounds crazy right now if you've never done it before, but yes, you can do it. So once you do that, once you enter into that stage, then your body uses the stored fat that's on your body. So that's when you start losing fat. Now, if you increase exercise or introduce exercise to this regime, now you have intermittent fasting, you're eating keto style, low carb, no carb, and you're exercising. So now we're burning more than we intake. So once we burn more than we bring in, we start producing a deficit which burns the fat on your body. That's how you get better. So not only is it fat, it's the inflammation. Inflammation in your blood vessels, inflammation in your heart that causes a heart attack, inflammation in your joints. You don't ache when you wake up in the morning. Eating ketogenic and low carb, low inflammation helps you in so many ways. It also makes your skin look younger, so that's why I do it. Now, I don't know that I'd have enough time to do this if I wasn't not working. So that has played a role in my health also. Less stress, more time to exercise. I walk every morning or every day, not all the time mornings, a lot of times mid-mornings, but I walk every day 10 to 11 kilometers. So we're looking at 7 miles every single day, 2 hours. Basically, I walk out an hour, I walk back an hour to the condo. It really helps. So what else was I going to say? I was going to say, what am I drinking? I'm drinking ice and water. Soda is what they call it, but it's soda water. This is water with so much carbonation in it, it is unreal. It tastes so good too. I've never had a drink with this much carbonation. It is so very good. And when you eat something spicy, water would usually, if you drink water after eating something spicy, it would make it more spicy on your tongue. But this actually has so much carbonation that it bubbles the spice oils off of your tongue. I just like it. It's like a soda. I don't know. But anyway, What it's used for here in Thailand is usually to mix with an alcohol drink. So a whiskey, they would use ice, whiskey, and soda water. So when I order this in restaurants, a lot of times, oh, if they don't have alcohol, oh, we don't have any alcoholic drinks here. I'm like, I don't want one. I just want the soda by itself, and they just think I'm weird. And then I ask for a slice of lemon or lime, slice of lime to put in the drink with it. They're okay with that. Everything's cool, but they do think it's weird that I don't drink alcohol with my soda. I just drink soda. Or when you go to 7-Eleven and you buy a 6-pack of these sodas, get a 6-pack of them, they automatically turn around because the whiskey is kept behind the counter. They turn around and open the thing for me to pick out what whiskey I want. I'm like, I don't drink that. And they're just like, really? You're going to buy sodas and you don't drink alcohol? Or you must have your own alcohol in the truck. Anyway, back to health. What else? Oh, scale. What I've gotten is one of these scales, one of these health scales that tells you fat percent, visceral fat. That's the main thing I'm trying to lose. When you drink too much alcohol, when you drink too much beer, mainly beer, because it's just empty carbohydrates, your body gets all these carbohydrates and it stores it as fat, but it stores it as fat around your organs and around your liver. You end up with fatty liver. So I have visceral fat. So I'm trying to reduce my visceral fat. The best way to do it is to have a calorie deficit and to use ketosis, ketogenic style of eating, low carb, no carb, to get the fat out, and intermittent fasting. My personal, I try to use at least 20 hours of not eating per day and 4 hours of eating, but usually it ends up being 22 and 2 because I only eat one meal. So I might, 4 hours because I might eat a meal and then I might have some peanuts for a snack too, which does have carbs, but don't eat a lot of them. Not every day, but some days. Anyway, get one of these scales that tells all of this about it. Body fat percentage, BMI, visceral fat, regular fat, water content, bone mass, muscle mass, and body age. Let me tell you about the body age thing. Now I know it's a $20 scale. Use it with an app on your phone, so it syncs to your phone. But are they accurate? I don't think they're that far off either. But I don't think they're completely accurate. There's a $20 scale. How accurate can they be, right? But what it does is it gives you a place, like a what do you call it? A bookmark or a starting point. It gives you a starting point of where to go. Now the weight is the weight. The fat percentage can fluctuate a little bit each day, but basically you want to see the fluctuation go down, the body fat to go down. If you're weightlifting, maybe the muscle to go up. Or if you're not lifting weights, the body fat to go down and the weight to go down together. Visceral fat, you want the visceral fat to go down if you have too high visceral fat. And then the body age can go down. I started with a body age of 56. I think I started this at 48. No, 48 or 49, but at 49 even, I shouldn't have had a body age of 56. Now, I'm at 52, 3 years later, and I have a body age of 44, 43. It fluctuates between 44 and 43. So, I'm just saying, you should use one of these scales and use it as a progress, so you can see progress or regression also. So I've gone, since I've been here in Thailand, I've gone between moving and traveling. And when you're traveling, it's hard to find a place to eat keto. It's hard to find a rotisserie chicken everywhere, or a place that, or it's not really, I'll say it's hard to be able to speak the language enough to say, this is what I want, can you not cook it with sugar? Where now I can speak enough language to ask for them to cook something without sugar, and I know of a meal that doesn't take much sugar anyway, and a lot of people make it without sugar already, so it makes it easy to ask for. So, but whenever I say I don't want rice, they kind of look at me weird. But they do it. It's easy. It's easy to charge the same thing and give me less. So they don't put sugar in it, so they save sugar, and they don't have to give me rice, so they save 5 or 6 or 7 baht on the meal and still charge me 50 or 60 baht for the meal. So they're giving me less, they're charging me the same. It all comes out okay. And then 10 extra for a fried egg on the side. So, then I put the egg in the meal and eat it. So we're talking about pad kapow mu, or pad kapow pork. Pad kapow pork has your proteins and your fats, and then an egg has just the right amount of fat and everything. So the next thing, people say your cholesterol will get high eating like that. Not really. So cholesterol is fat mainly, but if you change from a carbohydrate diet of insulin and change to a fat diet of ketones, then your body processes fat and it doesn't build up. So the fat builds up because your body's using insulin. It's not using the fat, it's using insulin, and now you have fat. So now not only do you have inflammation and insulin, you have fat too. But if you cut out the carbohydrates, you cut out the insulin-dependent body or insulin-dependent energy, and you use fat for energy, now it processes, now you don't have high cholesterol. So think about that one. So in this sense, you can't listen to your doctor, right? Unless your doctor understands keto, unless your doctor is a keto doctor. But so many of these doctors have gotten with this 4 food group thing over the years, and they're still with it, and they're still teaching the wrong thing in school even. You gotta have your bread and your dairy and your all these equal portions of whatever, all the major food groups per day when you don't, and you shouldn't. It's not good for you. So anyway, that's it for today. Next week, we'll talk about something else. Leave in the comments if you want to talk about a certain thing. I know crypto's a hot topic today because Bitcoin dropped quite a bit. Or to use the media's word, crash. They didn't use the word crash whenever Facebook or Meta came down 25, 30% over the course of a day, 2 days. But they use it's all in what they want the narrative to be. But we'll get into that next week. Okay, that's it.